On Sunday, the Cowboys defense scored 14 points in a 38-3 rout of the Patriots, handing the legendary Bill Belichick his worst loss as a head coach. Deron Bland had 2 interceptions, one of which he took back to the house, and Dante Fowler sacked Mac Jones and forced a fumble deep into the Patriots' own territory, and Landon Vander Esch recovered it for an 11-yard touchdown. So how did it happen? Let's get into it. Going into the game, there was a false narrative that the Patriots' offense wasn't very good. However, the Patriots' offense was 13th in DVOA heading into the game against the Cowboys. Early in the game, the Patriots were moving the ball pretty well. Jones had decent poise, a couple Patriots popped open for huge gains, and for most of the first 2 drives, the Patriots' offense was moving the ball pretty well. At the beginning of the second quarter, though, the Patriots went for it on a 4th and inches on the Cowboys' 41-yard line, and they tried the tush push. The Cowboys stuffed them, and that was the beginning of the turning point in the game. On the second play of the following series, on a 2nd and 12 from their own 8, the Patriots tried a play-action pass. Dante Fowler runs around the edge, strips Mac Jones, Vander Esch picks it up, scoops, and scores. The Cowboys play match cover 3 on this snap, either nickel personnel against the Patriots' 13 personnel, which is pretty interesting for the Cowboys to match their nickel up against 3 tight ends, but it's successful. They match all the routes. Mac's forced to hold the ball, and he rolls out where he's then stripped. As we had seen, Mac Jones looked pretty poised up until this point. In the first 2 series, he was stepping up in the pocket, making plays, and the offensive line was getting a push and doing a good job in the run game. The interesting part about all of this is in the first 2 series, the Cowboys were playing 4-3 personnel and their 3-3-5 Bear personnel, which you think would be more stout against the run. Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn decided to switch tactics, get in the 4-down stuff, get the ends wider, and this is the result. The incredible part about this is later in the video, we'll look at how the run defense actually improved because they were able to generate speed off the edge and get the linebackers playing more downhill. In my opinion, this sack fumble changed the entire game, not because the Cowboys scored, but to my eye, Mac Jones never looked the same after this. He seemed a little skittish, started speeding up his process on plays, leaving the pocket a little early, making throws off his back foot, losing fundamentals, and I think it's because this play was in the back of his head and he started really feeling the pass rush. And it got exponentially worse as the game went on until he was replaced. On the next series, the Patriots call a play-action pass with an over route from the tight end. Mac has a clean pocket. He even actually has an escape lane and a throwing lane. The tight end beats the outside leverage defender in the Cowboys cover 1 scheme. He has an easy throw with a lot of space in front of him, but I think that last sack fumble's playing his mind. He steps up, he tries to force a weird-looking pass to the running back, and it's incomplete. 2 plays later, the Patriots call a drop-back pass. The Cowboys call a drop-8 Tampa 2 variation. I think Mac could have stepped up into the pocket and created more time. He doesn't. He ends up flushing out to his right. He bypasses an open receiver in his line of vision to throw clear across the field to a receiver on the opposite numbers and ends up making a crazy throw and play, but this will end up coming back to bite him pretty soon. I could be reading too much into this, but this just seems like he's rattled. He's trying to get out of there as fast as possible. No one's open initially, but he could have scrambled for a few yards and slid or threw to the receiver just outside the hash, but he makes a crazy throw across his body. 2 plays after this, on 2nd and 8, the Patriots are in 13 personnel. The Cowboys again match nickel and they play cover 3. There is a slant flat play to the right, also known as dragon, and a stick route to the left. A pretty easy 3-step read where he can work from one side to the other. Mac has a slant window that he could throw to, but instead he steps up into the pocket and starts to run when he could easily throw the slant to the field, and if he wasn't comfortable for that, he could scan back to the flat is wide open. There is no one there. But again, I think he's skittish. He follows the back, gets 3 yards, but he does so prematurely. I don't think he has to do this, and I just think he's spooked. Patriots left guard Antonio Mafi, who, full disclosure, I coached him in high school, is one of my favorite players of all time that I ever got to work with, does a good job and creates a crazy passing lane for Mac. But I think he feels Micah Parsons coming from the other side, even when he's completely blocked and he steps up. Bill Belichick is famous for preaching about winning the middle 8, which is the last 4 minutes in the second quarter and the first 4 minutes in the third quarter as being one of the major keys to victory. And here's where the Patriots lose it. Almost a carbon copy of a few plays ago when Mac threw across his body. Micah Parsons takes an inside move and flashes across Mac's face, which flushes him to his right. As he starts to scramble, he looks to throw back, and DaRon Bland does an amazing job jumping the throw and making the Cowboys' second house call of the game. Let me just say in this moment, this wasn't all just in Mac Jones' head. The Cowboys had a phenomenal pass rush win rate, which I know on Twitter a few weeks ago somebody said doesn't matter, which is insane. And you could see the power of Micah Parsons here. He takes the inside move. He actually loses contain, but the gravity of the player that he is causes opponents to worry, and this is the result. And this is why coaches lose their mind when players make plays but have bad fundamentals or do something just they shouldn't do. A couple plays ago, Mac Jones looked like a hero for some crazy throw. And I feel like it's the Patrick Mahomes effect. Because it works and it's great until it doesn't. And you end up putting your team behind 28-3, which I know they've come back from before. Sorry, Falcons fans. But that wasn't happening on Sunday. The Cowboys also did a phenomenal job in coverage. You can see a few plays later, in 2 minutes still, Mac's flushed out of the pocket. The receivers are all covered down, and because the routes are going to the opposite side of the field, it's really hard to do any scramble drill. And at that point, there's nothing Mac can really do. A few plays later, you can see the same phenomenon happening. The Cowboys load the front to the defensive left, offensive right. Parsons does a good job of getting through, but if Mac just steps up in the pocket, there's an over route coming from his left. If he just has a little bit more patience, it may be a big gain, but he decides to pull it down and scramble for 4 yards. And on the very next play, Jones throws another interception off of one of my favorite pressures in football. I call it, generically speaking, the bear plug. So you're going to get a bear front with a slightly shaded nose. Vander Esch is going to blitz in the A-gap, getting a one-on-one on the back. The Patriots do a good job of picking up the pressure, but Jones throws the out to the wrong shoulder. And you guessed it, DaRon Bland gets another interception. What a start to the year this guy's having. Third down on the next series. You get a shallow cross coming from the X. Jones should feel some sort of anticipation there. He steps back and airmails the ball off his back foot, and Belichick pulls him out after this play. Now, Coach Belichick said that he didn't pull Mac for his poor performance and that he just didn't see any reason to keep him out there. And I'm not one to call the greatest coach of all time a liar, but pardon me for thinking that he may have been telling a little bit of a fib there. Now, part of the reason Mac had to make a lot of these throws was because the Cowboys' run defense was stellar. The first 2 drives were a little shaky, but they got it together and absolutely dominated the rest of the game. On this play, the Patriots are running mid-zone to the open side. Vander Esch spots a run through and takes it and tackles Stevenson for a 2-yard gain. Here the Patriots run mid-zone again, and you have another run through by 33 Clark. And what's so impressive is the Cowboys are playing nickel here to 13 personnel. Their DBs are physical enough to really hold up at the point of attack. And this is just a beautiful run through on the backside. The Cowboys' defensive line forces the Patriots to stay on the down lineman, and Clark just has a shot. But you can only do that if you're stout up front. The Cowboys are in a fire zone call here, so their backers are playing almost like man, and they can be super aggressive downhill, which you can't always be in zone coverage. Here's another clip of nickel versus 12. Watch Donovan Wilson here get his nose dirty, get in there and make a tackle for a 2-yard gain. You gotta have some tough, mean SOBs to do that. And I put this one on for fun. This is a don't try this at home kids call. The Cowboys are in an under front out of their nickel 3-3-5 personnel, and Micah Parsons is the nose. He, along with 99 Chauncey Golston, who does a great job of spinning back and making the play on one back power, which is just incredible. This is not something you see every day. And this is just a bonus clip. This is the Landon Vander Esch appreciation clip. Cover 1, he's got the tight end. He's inside leverage. The tight end arcs outside and runs a flat route. He gets on his horse, tracks the near hip, and makes the tackle on the sideline. Nothing special, just love how fast he plays. And I wanted to give him some love because he had a phenomenal game. Thank you so much for joining me again. If you like this video, give us a like and smash that subscribe button. Make sure you turn notifications on. And never forget, the quarterback can't see with tears in their eyes. Especially Mac Jones in this game. Holy shit, he was bad.